What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video journey episode. So, crazy stuff, okay? I had a really cool dream. First of all, I had a really cool dream, honestly. But first of all, okay, yesterday's meetup was very good because you see a friend, the last time I saw him, which was a few weeks ago, he invited me to come to this meetup on Saturdays. I'm like, yeah, I'll see, because, it started at 8 p.m. and I would be home at around 10 only, and, pretty late. So I was like, I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, and so this time, so yesterday I was like, okay, bro, when is it again? Where is it? I'm coming. And it was a good decision. It was honestly the best decision. What there were like probably 30 guys or so in this one room, and one guy did the main talking. The topic was death. It was really interesting, to be honest. Yeah. And afterwards, we went to get some. Oh, we actually also prayed together after it was done. Like the people who still, were in a not in a impure state, and it was very eye opening. Yeah, I actually took some notes of it. Let me see. It was a lot of examples so that everyone understood it, and not just talking, but also like asking questions and letting people who sit there answer, right? So let me take out the notes today. Because they collected the phones, which is very good, because it's real and it's gonna be good when people are not on their phones, right? When everyone is just present. So yeah, the notes that I took afterwards. Next time I'm gonna go there, I'm actually gonna take like a notebook with me, because the whole time I wanted to write down notes, because I'm a very forgetful person, as I say multiple times, and I still worry if I have dementia or not. But I hope I will not, and I won't ever. But okay. So the notes that I wrote down were: live as if you die in the next moment, as if you won't be able to open your eyes the next time you close them. You can change nothing about when you die. It's because Allah willed it, and don't worry about death. Because, yeah, a lot of people are like measuring nowadays. Like, oh my God, he smokes. He will not, like, for every time he smokes, he will live like 1 week or less or whatever, right? But no, like, we have no choice in death. It's predestined. Yeah. And it was also, yeah, just a few more examples, right? Also, that we should work out and like keep our body healthy, not because we want to live longer, because that's the wrong attention, because you have no say in how long you live, in that sense. Because there's literally people who have been using drugs for 40 years, and they still, and like some people use drugs for decades, and then there's people who never use drugs ever, but they still die earlier than them, because it's just, yeah. I'm not saying, bro, make the wrong decisions, no. So as I wanted to say, fitness, the wrong reason to exercise is because you want to live a long life, because like I said, you have no say in it. The right reason to exercise, to keep your body healthy, is because your body is a gift and you should take care of it. That's the right reason. Okay, next point that I wrote down. They did not die because they did this or didn't do that. Basically what I said. You can't control death in the slightest. People around you dying is a test, right? He told this story about this woman who has lost basically all of her family, like literally everyone, like her husband, a lot of sons, a lot of daughters, their husbands, their wives, their grandkids, she's lost a lot of people. And yet she was smiling, because she was like, yeah, because I know this is a test, you know, because I mean, this life is just a test for the next life. And the harder it is, like the harder the test is. First of all, no soul is being burdened with more than it can bear. Mm-hmm. So knowing this, as well as that this life is just a test, and every test there is you basically. Oh damn! How do I say this? Oh, I have the phrase. I don't have the phrasing. Damn. It's just a test. And yeah, she knows that if she passes the tests, and which she does by, continuing to take care of herself and not go into some sort of depression and stop eating and stop doing everything and continue worshiping, that she will be rewarded. Kind of like that. Right. I don't have the right wording. Yeah. If around you dying is a test, so feel grateful for that because Jannah is expensive. Yeah. And that we should never forget that we're constantly being tested. That we're constantly being tested. And our tests differ. Obviously, because some people's test is to survive in poverty, while some people's, like especially here in the West, our test is that we have so much time on our hands. That's the test. And how we use that time. And that we should use it wisely. And then there was also something that I just remembered, like, speaking up. It was like, yeah, never selling your faith. And then, for example, it was given, like Israel and the stuff, like all the countries, or most of the countries surrounding Israel, right? Or most of the Muslim countries are keeping quiet because they would lose like a lot of stuff in this world, basically, in this worldly life, if they would speak up, you know? Just like, okay, for example, in a job, so like your boss is saying something, I don't know, he says like, oh my god, pedos are good, okay? And then if you would speak up and tell him, yo, what is wrong with you? No, like they deserve prison time, and he would fire you for that, and you would lose your job, and you would have no way of, you would have to look for a different job to be able to continue living. But you're not speaking the truth because you're afraid that you will lose something right now, which is important to your survival, because you do not trust that you will get it in another way back. But if it's like your destiny, it will come to you. You know what I mean? Also, I just remembered more that were like all these, like, people are so preoccupied with like all these, especially financial things nowadays, with this materialistic stuff and so on, and that's nonsense because people are delaying their prayer, or they're not doing it at all. They're basically selling their faith for worldly gains. Yeah, but of course it doesn't mean they should just sit in their room and do nothing, but like they should do their stuff but prioritize faith over anything in this life. You know what I mean? It's I'd have to put it in my own words. But yeah, now let's get on with the dream because the dream was really cool. Okay. Yo, I don't know why. Again, honestly, after that trip to my grandparents, like the villagey area, my dreams started being all around the mountains or, like beautiful scenery. So yeah, this one again, it was a mountain or a, yeah, it was a mountain. I wouldn't say it was a hill, it was a mountain. Yeah, and at the bottom of the mountain, there was a beautiful river, and like there was, as far as the eye could see, there were forests, more mountains, rivers. It was just beautiful scenery. And on top of this one mountain, there was a castle. And inside of the mountain, it was like, there were like caves and, basically pathways inside of the mountain to get up to the mountain, kind of. So, yeah. Yeah, and on top of the mountain was a castle. And I was like, I think I built the castle or so. I don't remember. Basically, we at the top floor of the castle we held a meeting, and the top floor was like everything was surrounded by glass so that we could see outside when something was happening. And I remember I was sitting on like this right side. Actually, no, on this side I think there was a wall and not glasses. Basically, I sat on this side and there was glass to my right, to my left and behind me. And to my right, there was a guy speaking to my right with the back to his side of the glass. And I saw there an explosion in the forest. And I was like, yo, 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 wait. Because he was in the middle of speaking. I was like, yo, wait, there's an explosion. And like it was at first small, so no one, they just looked and they looked away. And, we're like, oh, it's just a small explosion, so what? But then it got bigger and bigger. And I was, bro, literally the villages are being, you know, nuked or whatever. I don't know. They're literally exploding for no reason, and the whole forest, everything's exploding. And they just continue with the meeting. And I'm like, oh, we're about to die because they don't listen to me. And then what happened? I saw TNT. TNT. And if you've ever played Minecraft, okay, I used to in my childhood, like when you light one TNT and then a few seconds later you light another one, like the first one explodes, pushes the other one like further away, and then the other one explodes. They don't. This one explodes and then this one explodes right away, unless like you only lit one. But basically, same thing happened. Like the explosions happened, and then I saw four pieces of TNT. One, basically the explosion happened, then pushed the four TNT towards us. Then one of the four TNT exploded, pushed the three TNT, like it broke the glass and landed on me. And I was like, everyone, it was a pleasure to be with you. I don't know what I don't know. I said, what did I say? I said like, well, everyone, it was really, I really enjoyed being with yours. I don't know, like it was a pleasure to be with you guys. Goodbye. Because I knew TNT was coming and it was going to kill me for sure. I was like, okay, I'm going to meet Allah now. Like, I'm gonna die and meet him. Yeah. Then T came, it went right onto me. I died. I don't know why, but I was the only one who died, as far as I know. And I died. It felt like an assassination Loki because I was the one who built the whole thing. Like, I was the one who built the paths in the mountains, into the mountain. I was the one who built the castle. I was the one who basically reigned over this whole territory and made it, prosper. Like, under my rule, the people and everything was prospering. So it felt like an assassination attempt from someone who did not like me. I don't know. Yeah, and then I died and I was like at peace. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna die now and I'm gonna meet Ella. So I died and then I wake up as a ghost. You don't know how disappointed I was. Like I was so sure, okay, I'm gonna meet him now. And then I just wake up as a ghost at the bottom of the, like at the entrance of the castle. And I'm like, bro. So I'm like, okay, wait, maybe am I alive? Then I start talking to people. I try touching them. No one reacts. And I'm like, okay, I'm a ghost. Okay. So then I just walk around the castle, inside the castle, outside the castle, at top, still at the top of the hill. I actually went down to the river once and then went back up because, you know, yeah, but I went back up and then I stared into the distance and was like thinking, so why am I still here? Is there something that I've left, something unfinished that I have yet to do, and why I'm still here and have not met with Allah yet? That was my thinking process. Yeah. And so as I was thinking, suddenly this little girl, literally maybe max 8 years old, comes to me and is like, "What are you thinking about?" And I'm like, and I, don't react. And she's like, "Hey, what are you thinking about?" And she comes up to me and stands in front of me and it's like, "Hey, what are you thinking about?" I'm like, "Can you see me?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm talking to you." And I'm like, "How? This is crazy. How can you see me? Do you know, like, do you know who am I? I am?" She's like, "Yeah, you're Nikita. You're the one who, built the castle. You're the great ruler here." And I'm like, "But I died." She's like, "Yeah, I know, but I can see you." And I was like, baffled completely. And then one of the people who was in a meeting, I was like, "Yo, I saw," like, one of the people who was in a meeting went to them and, like, with the girl and was like, "Yo, can you tell them that you can see me right now, that I'm here?" And they told them, but like this girl told them, but they were like, "Oh yeah, that's so cool," and they just continued with their duties. I was like, "Yo, can you tell them I'm here? Can you tell them, like, what is my mission or whatever?" And then the girl told her, but it was like I was completely ignored, and I was just really, bro. I really, really thought that I was like that I died for real and was a ghost stuck here. And was like, damn, why am I still here on this earth? You know what I mean? That was that felt so real. You don't even know. And really the disappointment I felt when I was still on this earth. Ah, but yeah, that was a crazy dream. I have to say, that was a crazy dream. Yeah. You. So that's all for today's video. We'll see you in the next one.